And welcome back. Have you ever lost someone you trusted or been forced to carry that weight alone? Well, there's a new play that explores the impact of abandonment and the journey of healing after losing someone close. Who Dropped You hits the stage this weekend. And here to talk more about the production and how it's helping others is Natasha Clay Hill, founder of Overflow Productions, along with Sandy Washington, an actor and one of the stars of the show. Ladies, glad to have you both here.
Thank you.
Natasha, let's begin with you. We're talking about betrayal, we're talking about broken hearts, we're talking about rejection. Where does all of this come from?
Well, actually, it's stemming from the story in the Bible of by the character named Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth was the son of Jonathan, and Jonathan was good friends with King David, and they made a pact. So when Jonathan and King Saul were murdered, back in the Bible days, it was customary to wipe out the bloodline. So when the soldiers, they stormed the palace to kill Mephibosheth, and the nurse was carrying him, he was only 5 years old, and she dropped him, and he became lame in both his legs. So but he survived. So many years later, David remembered his promise to Jonathan. So he asked, was it anybody left of the house of Saul? And they told him, yes. Mephibosheth is down there in Lodabar, which is the place of no hope. So when the soldiers brought him to King David, the first thing that Mephibosheth said to David is, why is the king concerned about a dead dog such as me? And what I would like to point out in that story is, he could not see beyond his handicap, that his lame. He couldn't see beyond that. He was still the grandson of a king, which means he had royal blood flowing through his veins. He was still somebody in the eyes of God because God had given him favor and grace and spared his life. But he saw none of that because he was lame. So a lot of times things happen in life, people hurt us in life, people drop us in life, and it'll handicap us and not allow us to see the beauty of who we are.
That makes a lot of sense. So Sandy, what kind of pulled you to this production? Because I know over the years you've worked a lot with Overflow Productions, but especially this theme.
Because thinking about the title, Who Dropped You? When you think about the title alone, it's one of those things where it captures you, because when you think about your life and you think about the things you've endured, the things you've been through along the way, there was something that caused you to, whether it's getting on drugs, that mental health issue, or whatever it is, it's something that brought you to that point. And majority of the time, it's life experiences. It's something that we've went through. And so for me, that title just captured me, and I was like, I just want to be an actor. I'd be a stagehand this time.
You were that into it.
I was that into it because I believe in what she's doing. I believe in Overflow Productions, and I've actually seen, it's amazing to be the person sitting in the back. When you're sitting there and you get to see the other people that are watching the play, and just to see the reaction and hear them say, it's me. That's
what I wanted to ask Natasha about. When do you know you've made that connection with an audience, especially a live audience, watching, paying attention to every word, every one of your words?
When did I make the connection?
Yeah, when do you know it's there?
When is it? Actually, during the rehearsals, you know, because true story, here recently we had one of our actors that brought her daughter to rehearsal, and she was actually watching it. And then Sandy's son has even been in rehearsals, and they're like in middle school, elementary, middle school, and they were over there responding to what the actors were doing. They were laughing, they were engaged, they were intrigued, they were listening. So I'm like, yeah, we got something.
You got us for sure. Sandy, is this also a story though of hope and healing at the same time?
Oh yes, it is. It is. I was telling her in one of the parts of the play, it took me back to a situation in my own personal life, to the point to where she nailed it, just not to even know the full story. She nailed it right on the head, to where the words that are being said, I'm like, that was me. I went through that. I've endured that, and that's exactly how I felt in the moment of the words being brought to. So I was like, oh, people are going to see themselves in this. They are. They're going to see something. They're going to be able to get healed from the very words that's being brought forth. Plus, they're going to hear something probably a way that they've never had it identified to them.
So, Natasha, how long does it take to create something like this? Some people might say, does it take about a year or two? Or for you, is it just a matter of weeks or a matter of days, or what?
It varies. You know, this particular one, actually, Alex, has taken a couple of years.
Has it really?
Yes, sir, because I dropped myself, meaning I allowed different things that I was going through in life to keep taking my focus. I kept allowing myself to be distracted. I kept shying away from writing, from finishing the script, because I knew that in the end it was really going to be powerful and it was really going to help. And I actually, through this whole process, have been seeing some areas in life where I've been dropped. It's like, that's why I act like that.
So
because
we've all
this
been
happened.
there. So a lot of folks are going to be watching and waiting to find out where can they come to see this production.
Yes, sir. They can come to Abundant Grace Fellowship Church, located on East Shelby Drive. It will be this Saturday, August the 23rd at 3 p.m.
Okay, Sandy, you're going to be signing autographs?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, you better be. It's good to have you ladies here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
All right,
so
stay in
much.
touch with
Yes,
me for
sir.
sure.
I will.
All right.